Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Not Just a Filmmaker. I am Lachlan, and this is the second time I'm recording the first episode of the podcast because I am. Oh, it's a car. What a great way to start the first episode. I feel a bit like a Spider-Man movie where we're remaking it over and over again, but we'll have to deal with that as welcome to my podcast. Firstly, a few things off the bat. Yes, you'll have to turn up your volume because I cannot figure out how to record this louder. I don't know. It was working fine the first time I recorded it. I mean, technically speaking. But now it's not. So, yeah. Alrighty. I don't know. I suppose I'll introduce myself again. My name is Lachlan. I just finished uni. I wanted to start a podcast about me, so it'll be, I don't know, a bit of comedy, bit of filmmaking. I love film. I studied filmmaking at university. Don't know what else. I used to make YouTube videos. I now watch movies and I edit and I direct and I write. So, follow my TikTok. I don't know. Is this gonna create like? Alright, for audio listeners, I'm like rubbing the back of the microphone and I'm trying to see if it creates any like sound. No, we should be okay. Maybe not. When I like swivel the chair, you might get a. Hang on, let me try this again. Huh. None. You're not recording any of that. That's pretty nifty. Alrighty. So yeah, I am a filmmaker. I don't know. I don't know how to describe myself when it's like a really weird thing to like start. You go, hi, I'm this person. I do X and Y and Z. I don't know how to describe myself beyond that. I have a passion for filmmaking. I like making people laugh. And this is my bedroom. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think about all this. It's like, yeah, there's about my desk, I guess. I don't know. There's not really that much you can say about it, can you? It's a bedroom. Most people have one. Yeah. Oh, that's how it is. I have forgotten immediately I remember what I wanted to first talk about. This is the second time I'm recording the first episode. So the first time I recorded the first episode, it went well. We went for about half an hour, but then I was just really bad at it. And this is probably going to be really bad as well, I'll be honest. This is like the second time I'm doing a podcast. But it was just one of those things where you started listening to it back going, this is really interesting and boring, and I don't know why anyone would listen to this. And I suppose I'm going to have the same reaction to this podcast, but at least I will be uploading this one. I think I'm going to commit to this one, because that's just the sort of guy I am. Committing when I want to. Yeah, I don't know. I feel a bit awkward, trying to just get back into the groove, trying to settle it a bit. Yeah, also my computer was really loud. So this is a TV, so you can't actually see the computer. You can see like a corner of the screen. But like the computer itself started whirring really, really loud. And now the background is like completely infested with like the. So I can only remove so much being an amateur sound editor. And by amateur, I mean definitely a beginner. I could not describe any more how much of a beginner I am at this. But, here I am. I bought a new computer. I bought a MacBook because I have that sort of money to waste. And now it's fanless. I don't have to worry about. That is weird on the. I should not have done that. That feels wrong. I don't know why people make noises like that. But yeah, now I don't have to deal with noise like that. And that is a benefit. That's for you guys. That's on you guys. But also just know, I don't respect you for listening to the podcast in like a, quality sort of way. You're not going to get any high quality from me out of this. I think, yeah, it's about it. Well, yeah, I don't know. Recording the podcast again, I don't know. It's super weird. I don't know how many people have recorded a podcast or even like recorded them speaking just off the cuff for 20 minutes to half an hour. It's super difficult. It's really hard to be interesting for that long. Normally, if you because I used to make YouTube videos, I would just talk for like 5 to 10 minutes about one topic, and people knew they were coming to listen to that topic. And it's very, is it different or is it more difficult? I don't know. Maybe I need to have like a proper run sheet for me, but yeah, I don't know. I suppose I'm just very nervous about how this is all going to go down. I'm not really sure how it will go down. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I'm going to use it for this podcast for. In a tool sort of way, I guess. Can't really use a podcast. I mean, you can, ish. No, I was wrong. You really can't. It's more or less just building a portfolio and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know, a podcast. Oh my god, what am I supposed to talk about? I wrote it down. Give me 2 seconds whilst I just improvise. So, emails and notes into the notes. Yeah, so I'm re-recording episode 1. I think I just had a lot of problems with episode 1. I started talking about not much, and then I got on a roll and I forgot about what I was talking about. But it was probably a really topical issue that I now no longer care about that much. Also, side note, Merry Christmas, everyone. I can't believe I'm getting to this 7 minutes in-ish. 6 or 7 minutes in. And yeah, it's going to be Christmas. This is like I'm recording it just before Christmas. More than likely it's going to be uploaded a couple days after Christmas. Because I'm still learning how to use podcasts. But we'll make it work. All right, yeah, this is a jump cut. You didn't need to see what happened in between. Yeah, buying Christmas presents. Okay. Very topical. Oh, what was such relatable humor. He buys Christmas presents and it's difficult. But it is difficult. It's really difficult. It's actually really, really frustrating. And I don't know, man. Christmas presents are difficult to get for people, I find. I live with some people, like with some of my family, they just don't care that much about Christmas presents. They're just kind of like, oh, I don't care what you want. I don't care what you get me. Just don't give me, just don't give me something useless. So it's very, I don't know if you guys spend like a few days in October just racking your brain what to get Christmas presents. I don't know if that's overly organized or not. But I find that to be that's what I do every year. With someday in October, I'll start writing down Christmas presents. And there's always that one person in the family that always just doesn't help. They're just kind of like, oh, I don't want anything. It's like, we're not getting you world peace. Like, there isn't anything we can getting you nothing is that's not on. That's a pretty dick move. But yeah, it's so difficult. And I had to really rack my brain to to find a present to get them. And I still look at it and I'm like, oh, I don't even know if they like that. It's so frustrating. Oh, and it's so difficult. And the shops are always packed. And everyone's just sort of, everyone turns into like a mini Karen, especially with COVID. Yeah, all right, we brought in COVID less than 10 minutes in. Great job, Lachlan. That's a high five. Oh, that's just, absolutely so... I hate Christmas shopping. I hate it. It sucks. There's so many presents to buy. You have to be so careful, and you have to buy like the right gift for everyone. I don't like it. And then you spend all your money spending presents. You end up spending like $450 buying Christmas presents for people. Maybe more, because you got to buy the right gift, and you end up worrying, and then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because I don't. In 3 weeks I'll forget about it anyway. It's Christmas itself I really enjoy, but I just don't really like the buying Christmas presents because there's so many different people I have to buy for, and I don't. They all want. Half of them are so difficult to buy for. They're all like wanting. Either they want one thing, so one other member of the family's already got it for them, and you have to go improvise and buy a meaningful gift, one that they won't look at you, like pick it up and go like, oh, thanks. Like that avocado vine. You remember that avocado? Hey, an avocado. Thanks. It's just, I don't know. It's frustrating a little bit like that. Wasn't this supposed to be a comedy podcast? Or, I don't know. Is this a place for me to vent about Christmas? I genuinely don't know. Like, as you can tell, I'm not very good at this. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll keep prefacing that all throughout the podcast. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'll be honest, I think this is going to be a very short one because I don't know. I don't know. I keep making noises and I don't know what else to say. Christmas presents are difficult to buy for. What an original thought. I don't even have like a great story for my Christmas shopping. Like, it's just, you go in, you buy the stuff that you've written down on a shopping list, and then you leave. There's nothing else to it. I feel really, really bad about bringing this to the podcast, but I also have nothing else to say about Christmas. I love it. It's the best. It's one of my favorite holidays. Easter can, take a hike. I am all for Christmas, but also Christmas shopping is the worst. Because you get. What if they buy the thing that you want to get them in December, or in late November? Then it's all useless. What about the people who go shopping for themselves, like December 18, 1 week before Christmas? Screw them, because that is so frustrating. I can't believe people would go shopping for themselves so close to Christmas, even if it's like a birthday. Like they're buying stuff for themselves for their birthday. I don't understand, because all they do is they're just taking away ideas from the people that want to buy them presents, and it's so selfish. I don't know what else to add. It's so selfish of them. How dare they try and have spend their birthday money? Well, seriously, wait until Boxing Day as well. Like, come on, the sales on Boxing Day are absolutely insane. Why would you go buy things on December 18 for yourself? Fool. Just buy good things for other people, or maybe mediocre things so that they will accept them. But come on, this is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely fools. I don't understand people who buy things a week before Christmas. It's just kind of like, I don't know, there's an analogy in there somewhere. I can't possibly find it out for you. You'll have to do that work yourself. This isn't like a charity. This is a podcast, which I'm doing for free for the second time. The first episode the second time. Actually, no, I'm not. No, this is not the second time I'm doing a podcast. This is actually the third time I'm doing a podcast. I did a podcast 2 years ago that went online and no one ever watched it. So there's a hidden podcast out there somewhere. I don't know if anyone will ever find it, but let's say we get to, I don't know, maybe if I get 10 people asking me where it is, or maybe if I get a certain amount of viewers. I don't really know yet, because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to put in. What should we get? What's the goal for finding this secret podcast? Infamously secret podcast. What's the goal that we need to hit for me to reveal where it is? Because I'm sort of intrigued what people's reaction would be. Most likely it'll be something like, no, we don't really care about your secret podcast. But I am curious. Is it going to be like, are people going to be like, no, I don't care? Or are they going to come up and go like, oh, maybe, what if you get like 10 listeners? What if you get like 25 listeners? What about something like that? So that'd be an interesting sort of number. We'll have to see about that. I have no idea how many people should be going for that. Anyway, but yeah, if you do want to find the secret podcast, I would say message me, comment, like the video, like the podcast. Let's get some engagement going. Engagement. All right, my God, I forget what the next thing I have to do here. That's one thing. And then I bloody plug secret podcast. What a run sheet. Am I right? I have to write this up. Plug secret. Oh fuck. You know when you just spell things in the wrong sentences? Not even like the wrong word. You just get the sentence the wrong way around. Plug secret. This absolutely sucks. All right. Okay. We're nearly there to the end, guys. Let's keep going. Oh, I really hope I don't dry out. One thing I learned last podcast, your throat dries out super quick. So it's roughly around the 20-minute mark. And we're at about 16 minutes. So we'll have to we'll power through it. Oh my God, I forgot what it was actually. Okay. Oh, I sort of already talked about it. I'll talk about it. No, I'll save my computer story for the next episode 2, because I think that's. I've got a decent bit to say about that. Okay, yeah. Last thing I want to talk about is like the Tom Cruise COVID rant on Mission Impossible 7. Yeah, quick. Firstly, amazing rant. It is so cathartic and interesting and just fascinating to hear celebrities yell at people. Like, I don't care if they're their boss, or I don't care if they're like, it's a weird power dynamic sort of thing. I don't really care that much. I'm just kind of like, oh, yeah, that's pretty fair. I'd probably yell, you probably deserve that if you're going to break COVID rules, especially on a set in Europe. Like, they're in Europe. Europe's fucked. Like, why would you... You've absolutely destroyed Europe. America, Europe, don't want to go there. Australia, we're nailing it. Except for New South Wales, because, dirty northerners. But, I don't know what else to say about it. Sorry, I do know a decent bit. It's... On the film sets that I've been in the last few weeks, COVID has been like one of those like weird touch and go sort of things where, yes, COVID, everyone wears masks and does the PPE and sanitizers, and we try and social distance as best we can, but we don't, it's never like the number one thing. Like, it's never like the highest, it's never like the outroast, everyone lives and dies by the COVID rules. We just sort of like work around it to our comfort. If it's necessary, if it's unnecessary, we make it depending on that. Whereas with Tom Cruise and his brand, I think, honestly, I side with Tom Cruise. I think it's very justified that, if people are on sets breaking COVID rules, not really paying attention to things, especially when it's just kind of like Tom Cruise is looking at it like this, like, he says, like, he's talking to producers and insurance companies, like, budgets on films have risen by 40% just to accommodate for hand sanitizer, gloves, and masks. It is an insane number of, like, the money's insanely risen over that time, and I'm pretty sure that just means we're going to get a bunch of new films here in Australia, like filming here, possibly even saying they're set in Australia. Could we get Mission Impossible 8 to shoot in Australia again? Like, let's bring back to Mission Impossible 2 sort of things. That's the sort of thing where we're at now, and it's very make or break. And I think, honestly, when he says like he's living with the future of the industry, I'm pretty sure that's related to like the HBO Max deal in a way. And for those who don't know, like, the Warner Brothers HBO Max release strategy for 2021, for those who don't know, basically Warner Brothers came out a few weeks ago and announced that all of their films will be releasing in cinemas and on HBO Max, which is their streaming service in the US, on the same day. In Australia, we call it binge, and we don't get all the films that come in. It's pretty close to binge. But basically, it's like got all the HBO shows and Warner Brothers stuff, and Harry Potter's and superhero and like DC superheroes and all that sort of jazz. And yeah, they've announced like all their films. So films like Godzilla vs Kong, The Suicide Squad, The Little Things, the In the Heights, June. A lot of blanking my mind at the moment, but there's like 17 of them, and they're just all going to cinemas. And that's starting with Wonder Woman 1984 on Christmas. But that's like a really weird. When all these filmmakers sort of like stood up and said, no, we don't want that. We weren't consulted, and we don't really want that. We want to make our films to be seen in cinemas because it's going to hurt the box office for their films. Like Warner Brothers films are just going to look like they tanked for the entirety of 2021. And I say it's a 1 year release strategy, but really it's just the Netflix release model on steroids of like, they have it playing it in cinema, like at home to compete with Netflix and Disney Plus and Amazon Prime. And then they have it on in cinemas to give it that awards qualifier. And they don't really care about it. I think perhaps the best studio that's doing the studio that's doing the best at the moment is probably Universal, where they have like a 17-day window. So like they had Freaky and Let Him Go that come out on their days, and then 17 days later they were on iTunes. That's sort of probably the business model that I think it's most appropriate at the moment. The Matrix 4 is included in that, yeah, in the Warner Brothers list. I think that's probably put a lot of pressure on the film industry, especially in America and over in Europe. And I think that's possibly what Tom Cruise references when he says he's worrying about the future of the industry. But he's also not wrong. COVID's a massive danger, and a lot of people lost their jobs in the industry over COVID. And I think he's absolutely right for people to jeopardize that, even if they are looking at a screen. For people to jeopardize that, I think a bit of a spray is pretty fair justified to me, considering we're first industry out, last industry back in. Why would you not be really protective about the fate of the industry, especially when now it's all up in the air? Films are bombing left, right, and center. If you want to put a film out, you're basically saying we're going to lose. We're happy to lose money on this. So, now that's happening. The throat thing. Now it's all dry. I should really get a water bottle for this. Okay. Well, now that's my thoughts on Tom Cruise rant. I think it's pretty well justified. I think him and Christian Bale, they're both under a lot of pressure. The people they were working with definitely deserved a spray. And that's I don't know what else to say about it. I think it's an interesting conversation, especially with the future of the industry for 2021. Okay, I think I'm going to end the podcast here. Thank you for listening or watching for video listeners. This podcast, I believe, will be on Spotify and iTunes and YouTube. The video version on YouTube. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on it, because I've never uploaded a podcast before. But if that is my thoughts and my second recording of the first episode of Not Just a Filmmaker. My name is Lachlan. I am not just a filmmaker. Thank you for listening. Watch the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, subscribe to my Lachlan Port channel, where I have my short films. I think I might be putting up for some YouTube videos, going back to long form YouTube videos. I apologize for all the noise in the background with the dogs and the cars and people walking around in the house, but that's what happens when you live at home. Thank you for watching or listening, and I'll see you guys next time. I don't know when I'm doing this. It might be 1 week, it might be 2 weeks. Might have a Christmas break. We'll talk about some 2020 goals and 2021 goals. Alright, thank you. Goodbye.